All right, Lab Coat Agents, once again, another great webinar. This time we've got Nick Baldwin on. I know last week you missed him.
I'm always
no. Last week.
Well, last week
you
I
were
wasn't
on,
here.
man. Remember?
Well, we're actually on location. This is the first episode, probably the last.
The only episode.
Lab Coats live on location. It's a lot of L's. Lab Coats live on location. We're actually at the Ylopo headquarters in Venice, California. So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And we've got Steve Passanelli, a really, really good friend of ours, and Alvin Tapia, another amazing friend of ours. And he's wearing the vintage Lab Coat Agent shirt.
He is. That's old school vintage. There you go. I don't know what you're showing us there, Alvin, but that's fine.
So today we're going to talk about videos. How do you inject your videos with passion? Steps to take to make that video that you're doing a lot better. And who better to show us than the guy that started this whole trend in real estate, Steve Passanelli. Dude, I remember I used to watch your vlogs back in the day, sitting in my office at Century 21 in like 2006, 2007, and 8. You've always been doing some amazing stuff. So thanks for being on with us. And Alvin, the videos you produce, man, I don't know where you get some of your ideas, but
I told you before, I'm in therapy for that right now because
I believe it.
Yeah. So, we're excited because Alvin is totally on top of his video game. It's really I think it's probably one of the core factors of your business, and I think of what what defines you. And then we all know Steve.
Yeah.
CMO Bomb Bomb, video extraordinaire. So there's a lot to talk about today. There's two different types of video. We got Steve, who's with Bomb Bomb focusing on primarily email video. And then we got Alvin, who's just like killing video on Facebook every day. Social media. I don't really care where we start.
I don't care either. I say we go with Steve Passanelli.
Okay. Alvin, I'm sorry. You're going to have to take it back, Steve.
I was going to say Alvin.
Alvin, I got paper here. I'm taking notes on what Steve's got to say.
Take some notes.
And Steve, we want to start off by you telling us, because you've been doing this the longest out of all of us, what are the necessary steps really to make a video? Not a great video, not an amazing video, just the simple steps.
Do it. Just do
it. Because I think that's what holds a lot of us back.
Well, I think first you need to identify what you want to get out of your video and what the video's purpose is, because if you come to one of my presentations, we usually split up video into two main categories, and you have video for relationships and you have video for marketing. And usually when people think of video, they think of home tours, neighborhood tours, and high-end marketing pieces. And that's one fantastic facet of video. But then you have stuff like Alvin's doing there on Facebook Live and more for relationship building and allowing people, opening himself, which Alvin does better than almost anybody I know. He opens himself up, and you know who Alvin is by watching his personality comes right through, and he's building relationships through that video. He's not using high-end equipment and green screens and drones, and that might be another facet of his business, but not on Facebook, and not what he's doing there. Or if you're sending videos through text messaging, or you're sending videos through email, that is an entirely different type of video with a different goal, with different equipment than a home tour, a different setup, a different execution. And so I think, before we get into the entire conversation of video, I think we need to identify and just be clear with the types of videos that we're talking about, because all video can be beneficial to your business. It's just what video is going to work the best for you.
So you're saying there are major types. There's two different types of videos out there. There's the relationship ones, right? And then there's the branding / marketing ones. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. And would you say that the relationship ones are also the ones that bring in some leads, like so they can convert into actual people wondering about property, or would you use that one more for the branding?
Both. I mean, both can be a useful function right there. A lot of times what we tell people is a lot of times if you're uncomfortable with one of the biggest obstacles, we poll our, our users all the time, and we're like, hey, what prevents you from recording more videos? And people just are afraid. They're afraid of what they look like on camera, which we can talk about that if you guys want to go down that path. They're afraid that
every time I turn on the camera. Yeah. Just like, no.
Close the laptop.
Nobody.
But there's a lot of fears that people have, and what we usually tell people. Oops, let me make sure my messaging's off here so it doesn't beep at us the whole time. But what we usually tell people is like an easy way to get started with video, where you don't need to memorize scripts or have a teleprompter or a high-end camera, or short form video messages, sending quick little 20-second video text messages that anyone can do with the phone they have in their pocket right now, to a past client, just checking in with them, and people that already know you and like you, and delivering what we call like a voicemail like video message that will help you become more comfortable on the screen. So if you want to do some more advanced style videos, or what would be perceived as an advanced style, you are more comfortable being in front of the camera. I mean, we can go much more in depth into any of these topics here, but that's what in general we teach. Short form video messaging. It's just like a voicemail. You don't need to be perfect.
You've got probably 3 different types of people listening to this, and that are going to listen to it in the future, which is, you've got the people that are not really comfortable shooting video. They don't know where to pick up or start. You've got people that are kind of doing it, and then you've got people that are doing it at a really high level, right? Yeah. And what I mean with a high level is somebody that's doing it like Alvin, who uses his iPhone and knows how to edit the video. And also, different high levels, people that are shooting the great videos of properties as well, because I consider that an art too. So yeah, those 2 types. But I mean, somebody who's just starting off, what do you tell them? Like, just pick up the phone and start recording. Prepare, don't prepare. Where do you start? Because you were touching on that.
Yeah. So it's identifying the right moment. So if you want to do these, simple, short form video messages to connect with people more effectively, you have to first identify the moments where they're going to make the biggest impact. So for example, if you talked about leads, that's an excellent moment to reach out with a video. Why? Because my text looks the same as your text, looks the same as Nick's text, looks the same as Alvin's text on the screen. And if you get a lead from Zillow or Trulio or a website, something like that, or let's say it's from Zillow, and that lead's going out to 4 other people, and you respond with a text-based response, people can't see who you are. They can't make a determination of who you are. A simple 30-second video message when everyone else is responding via text, where they can see you and hear you and say, you know what, Tristan, he's got a big, bright smile. It's genuine. He seems like a trustworthy person. You can build, over thousands of years, we became really, really good at judging whether or not another person is trustworthy by looking at their face. It's through evolution. And it's a trait, and we make a determination. Psychologists tell us that we make a determination on whether or not someone's trustworthy within 2 seconds of meeting that person. So you start off with a perception. Now, you might find out after talking to that person more in depth that maybe they're not, but you always start at some place. And having a short video, reaching out to a new lead that's 20 seconds, even if you're just saying, hi, hey, Mary, I see that you were on Zillow and you were checking out, 123, Green Street. I'm going to send you all the detailed information about that property, but I just wanted to put a face to the name and let you know that I'm a real person. And whether you're looking to buy in 2 months or not for another 2 years, I am here to help no matter where you are in the process. If you have questions about real estate, and more specifically this home, send me that was 30 seconds, right? So just that quick message showing them that you're open, that you're not pushing them, you're not being pushy, and you're just here to help. They're going to choose the known versus the unknown, which are 3 random text-based responses where they can't see the people behind the text every single time, because people are hardwired to choose the known.
So question then, you're telling the people that are just starting off, and even the advanced ones, hey, everyone should be using a video text message in their responder, right?
Heck yeah.
All right. I agree.
Yeah.
Especially with what you said. I mean,
Yeah.
and Steve, what do you use for that?
Man, he teed it up for you perfectly.
I don't know.
So, of course, BombBomb helps you do these things. But I want to be clear. Of course, I'd love for people to sign up for BombBomb. I was a BombBomb customer for 3 years before I started working for BombBomb. I saw the effects that it had for me.
I remember.
But you can just go to messaging right here on your phone and hit create and hit record and send out a text message. You don't need anything special. Now, why would you want something like BombBomb? Well, if you plan on emailing any of those, there's a multitude of reasons why it doesn't work and it's not effective, especially with tracking and analytics. And if you want to text those messages, we have a killer. We have the first app of its kind to add in videos right here into your iMessage application.
Yeah, that's
great messages. It's cool.
We love that feature, man. That's what
it's
really
super easy. It's super
So text, video, what do you think? No more than
15, 20 seconds.
15, yeah, 20 seconds or what?
Yeah, 30 seconds. 30 seconds tops. Now, we talked about a great opportunity, identifying opportunities like a lead response. You probably don't want to start off if you're afraid. If you're really afraid of video, you don't want to start off there. Send out a couple of videos to your past clients, people that already know you, like you, and trust you, and just ask them how they're doing and get comfortable if you're not familiar with recording these 30-second videos. And after you do that for a week or two, you're going to be golden and then start responding to leads.
I started off with my mom. If you check my BombBomb, you go back, my first message was to my mom. Hi, Mom. I'm just testing this out. I don't know if I really suck or not, but
she was like, Tristan, you're so great. You're a natural.
I love your smiles, honey.
And you're like, Mom, you're just saying it because you're my mom. That's what she said. But
your mom does say you're the best.
So Steve, so that's a great piece of advice. So I mean, I think a lot of people really just don't do video because they're just scared. They're just afraid. They think they're gonna mess up. They think they're gonna look stupid. They think people are gonna laugh at them. So that's a great way to kind of warm up. So what are some other ways to kind of like, warm up and flex your skills before the whole world sees what you can do?
So that's a great question. Actually, I would like to hear Alvin's opinion on this too. But one thing that we always tell people that are just starting off using video, and even if you're comfortable with using it, you ever hear the phrase "smile before you dial"?
Yeah,
yes.
All the time.
Classic sales term, right? And so I wish it was as snappy as that, but smile before you video is even more important. Smiling before you video.
Does anything rhyme with video having to do with like a smile? Or
I know, there's nothing good. I've racked my brain. There's nothing good. But we do this little experiment with our coaching clients where we have them video email us through BombBomb why they do what they do in 30 seconds. And they send us the video during a live seminar, and we watch some of them right off the bat. And then we pause and we say, okay, here's what we want you to do. We want you to sit down and think about something positive in your life, something that makes you happy. It could be your kids, it could be a vacation you spent, whatever it may be. Think about that and smile for 15 seconds, and then send the same video, 30 seconds, on why you do what you do. And the difference is, it's I can't even describe it. It's night and day difference. The passion that they exude in the video, and that's the key of the video. It's not necessarily what you say, it's how you say it, right?
Yeah,
it's the tone behind your voice. And when you're smiling and you have that big smile and you start off your video with that big smile, you are engaging. And that's one of the biggest tips I can give you. If you're afraid and you're going to record a 30-second video to a past client or a new lead, sit down and smile and think about something positive, then just hit the record button when you're done. Because your personality will come across, and that is your main goal. There's a shiny authenticity inversion. The shinier that something is, the less authentic it feels. So if you just record that video after you're smiling, even if you pause and you say or ah, it's going to still come through and it's going to seem authentic. And that's what you want in a short form video message.
I think because, most people can relate to something that isn't as polished. And so, yeah, I totally agree with that. That's a great piece of advice.
So Alvin, you've been shooting video. Well, we met Alvin about 2 years ago. We met about 2 years ago, right, Alvin?
Right.
You were already shooting video then.
Right.
But your videos are different than everyone else's.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They are. And they're fun to watch, but how do you come up with these topics? Right?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't know Alvin, I mean, his videos, it's very rare, Alvin, that you actually do a video about real estate, which I think is fantastic. You know, you're branding yourself. The first time I saw Alvin, he had a really great video called Legit Realtor. And so he made the introduction saying, you know, I've worked with many clients and, you know, oh, Alvin, you know what, maybe you can explain this video how you had testimonials from all your clients and each, or they weren't even your clients.
No, they weren't my clients.
Oh, they were.
They were your clients? And
No, these people were, so what it was is that I had a high school friend post and blast me on Facebook saying that, do you ever do any work? It seems like you're always in your vehicle making videos.
Oh, yeah.
So my comeback to that was, hey, you know, a buddy of mine said, do you ever do any work or do you just make videos? And that's when I went with, I'm actually a realtor. I'm a legit realtor, but don't take my word for it. So I went around town and just asked random people. Do you have that up? Or are you going to post that?
You know what? I found.
Wait, hold on. No, let him finish the.
Yeah, let him
so
finish.
yeah, so you talked to random people.
Yeah, I went to Starbucks. I went to a Panera. I got a guy on a crane. He was changing light bulbs. He was up on a scissor lift in a parking lot, and he said, "Hey, here's what I want you to do, buddy. Just say Alvin Tapia is legit." You know, this is at 7 o'clock in the morning. Just some maintenance guy up on a scissor lift, 2 stories up, and.
Oh man, it's the best. You just had you had like construction workers. Just
Yeah.
Alvin Tapia is legit. Alvin Tapia is legit. They were like just like a dozen random people just saying you're legit. I thought it was the most creative thing. It was hilarious.
Alvin, here, I'm gonna show everyone your first video with your iPad back in 2012 with the weather report that you did. Just so people can see that that it really doesn't take a lot of creativity to shoot your first video. I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah, I was barely learning how to use an iPad. So yeah, show it.
All right, hold on. So and he also shot it with his iPad here. So here we go.
Yeah. Let's rewind it.
I'm gonna rewind it. Here we go.
Thank you, Jim, for that awesome introduction. This is Alvin Tapia reporting live from the Inland Empire, also known as Southern California, sunny Southern California. I'm here to tell you that it is a little bit breezy today. Those of you moms and dads of small children, I want to strongly encourage you to stay indoors. Yes, stay indoors. I saw about a 5-year-old kid go whisking over the hood of my truck this afternoon. It is absolutely insane out here, so keep them safe. But on the other hand, have you ever had someone tell you, go fly a kite? Well, today is the perfect day to go fly a kite. So, Alvin Tapia reporting live from the Inland Empire. Back to you, Jim.
So Alvin, why? Because because your videos are great and you get tons of engagement. Why do you do it? Why do you create videos like this, and what does it do for you?
Okay, so yeah, that's a good question. And here's the funny thing too, is that I've actually been criticized by fellow realtors that tell me, why don't you talk about real estate? You know, because a lot of them, their mindset for building video is just to be in front of a house and say, hey, look, I got a new listing. Hey, look, I have a new buyer. And look at my happy. People tune us out. You know? They really do. And some of our friends don't realize how many people have unfriended them because that's all they post is real estate. So one of the things I've shared with people is I try to sell real estate without selling real estate. So in a lot of my videos, I'm very subtle about the industry that I'm in, right? And you talked about relationship. So I would like people to see just, I'm a regular guy who happens to sell houses, right? Who happens to list and sell homes, so that people can engage with that guy, so that the mindset is, you know, he's pretty funny, or he just seems like a regular person. that's someone I'd like to have list my home, or that's someone I'd like to have help my children buy their first home. So some of my videos might be, I did one where I was banging on doors and it was hot as can be. And you guys know I'm definitely not in shape. So it was super hot.
Yeah, but we've already figured out that Steve's the only one of us who's in really great shape.
He's the only stud. And in this group, he is the only stud. Yeah.
That's not true. That is not.
And he's so humble.
Yeah. Yeah. But so I did a video of banging on doors, it's super hot. So you get the idea that I'm in real estate and I'm showing a flyer. Hey, you know, I hit 100 doors. I'm at 55 minutes of just inviting people to an open house. People get it. There's that subliminal message underlying that I'm in real estate. And thankfully, those things have been very engaging.
So Alvin,
you know, people see my channel.
the biggest challenge for real estate agents is finding a topic that they feel comfortable talking about. I hear that all the time. It's like, well, I don't know what to record, right? So how do you come up with your ideas? Do you plan ahead by a week? Do you do it like just spur of the moment type thing? What do you do?
So most of my stuff is that morning when I'm having a cup of coffee. I just think crazy thoughts, man. But but I also think of topics that people have discussed. Maybe I heard something yesterday and I thought that would be a good thing to talk about, to maybe post a question. You know, maybe you were having coffee with a buddy yesterday in a really engaging conversation, and you pick one little thing out of what you were talking about and say, hey, I was talking to a friend yesterday and he was saying that, you know, that short Mexicans are the most amazing people in the world, you know, and whatever it is, you know, just pick a topic. And a churro, yeah, is an amazing piece of food. There you go, something like that. But yeah,
well,
from that, I have received people that private message me, hey, would you please call me? You know, we'd like to talk to you about selling our home. Or
well, that's actually something I was going to bring up because, you know, I was wondering if the non-real estate videos, because you do substantially more non-real estate videos than real estate videos. So I was gonna, you know, ask if you're actually getting direct business from your videos, and it seems like you are. But I want to go back to the mindset and how some of the agents in your market are criticizing you for doing too many videos, like not about real estate, right? So I think that the mindset is super important because you have to have a thick skin, and you have to also realize that you're the one actually getting out there and doing the videos, whereas the ones who are usually the most critical of you are the ones who are not doing it at all, for the most part. Because they're critical of the things that you're doing. So I feel like your mindset has got to be like razor sharp and just like filter out all the negativity. But so I noticed that you use your iPhone primarily. You use an iPhone and a tripod. And so I think it's an example of the fact that like you can shoot video anywhere, anytime for virtually no money. So let me ask you this question. Does the device that you're using to make your videos really matter?
No, it doesn't, because Steve talked about it just a moment ago about just being kind of raw with your information. And you mentioned it too, Nick, about not being real polished. Because in real life, we're not polished. We say, we say, oh, I didn't mean to say that. You know, we're not perfect in the way we speak. Why should we try to be perfect and just having a conversation? Because my thing, like with Tristan and I, Tristan came and was at the office, and from here we're like, hey man, we're gonna go over to Starbucks. We went to Starbucks and we're gonna shoot a video, and it was just Tristan and I just having a conversation. We messed up, but we kept going with it. People see that, and I believe they're encouraged by the fact that, hey, look, these guys aren't doing it perfectly. They said they're, you know, it's natural.
Yeah.
And that's more engaging to be like that. And there is a time and a place where you want to be super polished, but even that can be a little fake, if you will.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, if you're selling a home and it's a high-end home, a polished video is probably the right thing, depending on context. There's still a time though you know, if you're just doing the off the cuff Facebook walkthrough, like, hey, we're walking through the door right now, that still works, and that's great. But you know, for your online marketing, you probably want a polished video.
Right.
It's what you mentioned, you know, having a thick skin. The first time I sent out a video email, when I was doing Tech Savvy Agent, back in the day. It was the very first email I sent out. And I was like, hey, check this out. It's a video email. And I was talking about how awesome it was.
Mhm.
And someone replied back to me thinking they were replying to their friend Steve, but they replied to me, Steve. And it said, look at this expletive, like a derogatory term towards me. I'm telling my agents to never do any of this. This guy is a expletive. And I got the message. And it like it hurt. Like I was like, oh my God, maybe this isn't a good idea. And I wrote the guy back. I'm like, hey, you know, I don't think you meant to send this to me. And he wrote me back. He was like, oh, sorry, dude, I meant to send this to a friend. And like, that's it. Like nothing else transpired. But it was a major broker in the DC area that like who I knew who he was and wrote, like, it just tore me.
Wow.
Did you guys become best friends after?
No.
Oh, I thought there was a good story.
No, there's not a good story after that. But it was hard to get past that, and that was one of the first videos. And of course, you know, I don't think I'd be where I am if I wasn't doing consistent videos.
Yeah. And one thing, if I could add, see, one thing you said about that just made me think of something, is that so many of my videos, I mean, a lot of them have totally bombed, where I've done one and I thought, man, I really am pretty awesome. That was pretty darn good, right? And I get like 3 likes and 4 dislikes, right? That's like all you get. But you really do have to have thick skin. You got to shake that off.
Yeah.
Just like every marketing piece that you do, although you think it's fantastic, it's not always going to hit it out of the park.
And you know how you get over that?
You just make another video.
You keep on making videos as fast as you can.
Listen, let me tell you something. Tristan and I know about totally bombing. So,
Oh, dude.
you know,
yeah.
you just keep going, man. You just keep going and just doing better the next time. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it. A few questions, guys. Here's a few questions for both of you from the audience. Let's see. Number 1. All right. What type of tripod? Well, this one's an easy one. This is for you, Alan. What type of tripod are you using? Would a selfie stick work?
Stay away from the selfie stick. And I was prepared today, believe it or not, with my tripod. I wanted to show it to you guys. Stay away from the selfie stick because you get that motion. It's really key and it's super inexpensive. I've talked about it on lab coats. Here is a little tripod that is in my vehicle 24/7 right here. But the key is, people always ask me, what about the tip? It's this little, these are on selfie sticks. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
That little, and then you get off of Amazon. This one is called, and I'll post it later on, Tristan, the name of this little.
Yeah, it's like $7.
Yeah, it's super inexpensive. Yeah. But this is what I use 24/7. And on Amazon, $40, you can probably get just an iPhone tripod. And this kind, this is really important, don't purchase the kind of tripod that is a tripod for a camera, because you don't have the versatility. With this one, it's like a lamp stand, and it can tuck under a desk in really tight spaces. So there's a tip right there. Stay away from the actual tripods that are for photography.
And Alvin, 2 more questions for you.
Yeah.
How often do you publish new video content? Is there a routine, or do you kind of just do whenever you feel like it?
I try to get at least a couple a week, maybe on a Monday and on a Friday. And as far as the other thing, people think I'm on Facebook all the time. I'm not. You know, if I'm not out mowing lawns, then I'm selling real estate. But Monday mornings or a Friday morning, you know, to get the week started. Or why are you laughing, Nick?
I saw, you know, I don't know.
No.
So, I just remembered a funny story.
Yeah, you remember the funny. Okay, so anyways, yeah, getting the Monday morning started. or a Friday. So I try and get at least 2 in there. But
Steve, how about you, man? When do you see that agents should publish new content? Kind of like the content that we're seeing Alvin publish, which is for social media, for emails going out, just stuff like that.
You know, there's 2 schools of thought on that in creation of a content calendar and trying to abide by a content calendar. Or if you're not going to, you know, if you're a spur of the moment type of person, at least set a goal for the amount of content ideally you would like to, you know, to push out. It works for some people, you know, doesn't work for others. The other school of thought is when you have something interesting or fun to say. I mean, that's that's another way that you can go. I want to, can I move back to the previous question though with the equipment?
Tripod.
The tripod, one thing that we know a lot of our customers use and that we use personally is the DJI Osmo.
okay.
Which
Right.
it's an electronic handheld thing that smooths out. So you hold a joystick and your phone goes above it here, and when you walk or you move, it keeps it smooth. So it looks like more of a high end, you know, well, actually, you're just making sure your audience doesn't get sick from watching a Blair Witch Project video that's, you know, that's jumping all around. And we love it. We use that for a lot of our videos. We know a lot of our customers do quick walkthroughs at home and use the DJI Osmo there. If Ethan and I, my buddy, you know, Ethan at BombBomb, we created
awesome.
a 20. Yeah, he is awesome. We created a 28-page guide. If anybody is interested, my passion. A side passion is photography and video, and we created a 28-page guide on the salesperson's guide to video cameras, where we talk about DSLRs, mirrorless.
Can you put the link up on the either on the questions there on the chat, or just throw it onto the Lab Coat Agents one? That'd be awesome, dude.
Yeah, I'll find the link now as you guys go through the next question, and I'll post.
Because that would help out a lot of people. The DJ Osmo, is that correct? Someone's asking.
Osmo.
Oslo or Osmo?
Yeah, DJI OSMO.
Perfect. All right, and then here's a really good question. While you're looking, Steve, I'm going to ask Alvin first. This is a really good question. The content that you're creating, Alvin, where is that being put out to? Are you sending it to your sphere? Are you putting it up on Facebook, Instagram? Are you sending it out on emails, newsletters to new clients? Where are you putting it out?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So 3 different places. YouTube is one of them, depending on the content, on what it is, to try to work on getting SEO out there, to getting my name out there when people search for, because in there I'm very intentional on the tagging and keywords so that people can find me. So there is the word real estate, you know, real estate agent, all those keywords, Inland Empire, ranch. So there's that. But I try to keep the videos very general for everyone to be able to listen in, and it's not a sales pitch. And again, we talk about the criticism. It's worked well that people can pretty much count on the fact that I'm not going to be salesy on what I'm talking about, because it could be random stuff that we talk about that's engaging. So Facebook is another one. And I just started using, because all of us have, you know, squirrels in our lives and distractions, but I just started being more intentional about the thanking people for stopping by my open house. It's like a 12 to 15 second. And what I did recently was stand out in front of the property with my branding behind me. So that's very intentional. And you say,
that's smart.
And so it's got my branding, everything else, picture of the house, and it's just something like this. And like Steve said, I smile before I talk, and you smile after you talk. Say, hey, this is Alvin Tapia, and once again, thank you so much for stopping by my open house at 123 Main Street. And again, if you have any questions, please give me a call at 909-921-4916. And I look forward to talking to you soon. That's like 12 seconds, and it goes as a text.
Do you just text it out, or do you use BombBomb?
Yeah, well.
Oh. All right, cool.
So now that BombBomb is up and running with the texting, so I'm testing that feature as well.
So are you noticing that people's attention spans are getting shorter, or are they sitting in through 2-3 minutes or 4 minutes of a video? What are you noticing?
Shorter. So people do look at the seconds. So I share this with other agents. 58 seconds for me is the magic number.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your videos under a minute, because no matter how much people love you, for whatever reason, they'll give you 58 seconds of their lives, but they won't give you 1 minute and 2 seconds of their lives. I don't know why that is.
You know, what do you think?
So I mean, we have hard data around this, and we've studied and examined this. Now, remember, it's different for every type of video, but for the videos that I use personally and that we promote, you know, as BombBomb as a company, 1 minute or less. And so that 58-second number is great. And we actually push people to do that, because when they create a video, if it's 1 minute or less, it says on the bottom of the video, play 57-second video before they even play it, or play 37 seconds. If you go over a minute, there's a reason why it only says 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and you don't get the advantage of having it. Yeah. And so we push people to do the right thing. Now, you know, if you're sending out, it's okay to send longer videos to the right person. This isn't a hard, fast rule, but in general, the more of a relationship you have with the person, the more you can get away with sending a longer video, the less of a relationship. And again, this is just a very loose rule here. The shorter the video should be. So if it's a new lead, like we talked about before, get that in 20 to 30 seconds. Just make your introduction, allow them to see who you are. But if you're describing the buying process to someone that you've already met and you were at their house and you're going into more detail, that's okay too.
What about a video of a property? Because I don't know if you saw the Alan Stone video I posted last week, or Alan Stone Invasion of Privacy. I'll tag you on both those.
No.
It's a 20-minute video, and I couldn't stop watching it. I watched the whole thing twice. And so I think you're right. When it comes to the content that you're seeing being used on social media and being emailed out, a minute is right on. But when it comes to telling a story about a property or a lifestyle, that I think differs, and I don't know what that time would be.
It does, and it really is the content as far as the sizzle in some videos. You can go 1.5 minutes. Your stuff that you have, Tristan, you know, some of these gorgeous homes, Beverly Hills or whatever, that intrigues people a lot more, where they'll stay on and watch it 1:30, 1:45, because it's really intriguing, because they get to kind of picture themselves in a $14 million house and what it looks like in the kitchen and that amazing view. So that will engage, you know, people will stay a little longer. That little video I did with my little girl last week, you know, I got
that was amazing, dude.
It's the longest video I've ever made. It was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, or 2:33, and yet it's received over 4,000 views. So, you know, if the content, it just has to be engaging, and people just enjoyed seeing, I'm sure, her smile. That's probably what got the thing going so crazy. But
I got to see that firsthand when my wife and I bought our current home. She went to, and I watched her, and I watched to see what she would do, because I feel like I'm so close to the real estate industry. You know, I've been working in the industry for 18 years. But I watched her closely, and she found photos on one website, then went to other websites to see if there were different photos, then watched the video. You couldn't satiate her desire for more information when she was interested in a house. She would have watched a 15, 20-minute video, just like you said, because she had an interest in, especially the house that we finally ended up choosing. Now, she wouldn't watch a 15-minute video if she wasn't interested in the house, but you couldn't satiate her desire for more information. And so I totally agree, just watching her in the buying process.
Interesting, man. I really never went down this path before, where yeah, you know what, you've got these videos that are really short, and then they gradually become longer and longer depending on what they're for. Oh, interesting. All right, nice. A simple question here. We've got Marjorie, who says, my biggest concern when it comes to videos has to do with my strong accent. I'm from South America, and I'm usually afraid that it does not have any impact because people won't understand what I'm saying, any advice. So she's just concerned about her speaking and people not understanding her.
Can I answer that?
Yeah,
What's your name, Marjorie?
Marjorie, you got it.
Marjorie, the people that you associate yourself with, they already know you. They know you have an accent. So I would not use that as any kind of a hindrance for you. And make them start with just a little 30-second, you're having coffee somewhere and you're just enjoying the day and you're wishing all your friends a fabulous, fabulous Friday. They already know you, they trust you, they love you, and they know you have an accent. So if they refer you to somebody else, trust me, that's not going to be an issue. So don't let that be a hindrance.
Very true.
That's a really good advice.
That's probably the best advice there, man.
Yeah, your uniqueness is what's endearing about you. Everyone has endearing qualities, and the things that make you different, like this comes from my kids, really, because this is what we try to drill into my kids, because they're different and they're unique, and it's like, hey, that's your advantage. That is what makes you you. That's what you leverage. If you have that accent, there's going to be people that love that accent, and that's what you go after. I'd showcase my accent left and right if I had one. I have a Philly accent. It's pretty ugly.
It's funny. For those people, I always tell them, you look at incredibly successful people out in my area. If you want to Google him, Santiago Arana. He's got an accent. Started with an accent. The guy usually does 200 million in volume, and it's just him. 200 million in volume in a year with an accent. So you've got to really use what you have, and the accent might be something that's amazing.
I have a Jersey accent.
How's that going?
I think it's worse than a Philly accent.
You might be right.
So, do we want to show a few examples?
Yeah, I've got an example. Steve, you were saying that the Osmo, that's the handheld device, right? If you don't want to invest in something like that, I want to show you a video that Nick made. He used an app called.
I use an app called Deshake, Deshake. And it's basically an app that just evens out your movements.
Yeah.
So it literally de-shakes the video. This was what? How long is it? It's
only a minute.
It's a minute. It's a teaser video. You want to pause it and then?
Yeah. So you can see he used D-Shake to stabilize the footage a little bit. And he used, what app did you use for the words to come out for the subtitles?
I use an app called Cameo to put the music and the wording. So, but you can see it's really smooth, and it's just the app that evens out the movement. So even if you can't invest $500 or $600 into a piece of heavy equipment, there's a free app that will do it for you.
Yeah, not too bad. Right, I liked it. It came out really nice.
Yeah,
I used it too for a video because Nick and I always copy each other.
Well, Tristan copies me usually.
Yeah.
Great weather. I want to show you the inside of this great $3 million home. Let's see what you think. Come on in.
So what it does is it captures the footage for you, and then you have to run it through D-Shake, and then it just kind of stabilizes, which is kind of cool. You don't need. I mean, if you've only got like $1 or $2.
Yeah, it's very, very smooth.
So this is my favorite feature. You see how the doors just open up?
Yeah, anyways, use both combined, right? D-Shake and Cameo.
Yeah, so Deshake evens out your footage, and Cameo adds credits and royalty-free music. So lots of different options you can use there.
Yeah.
So the only thing I want to say, just so everyone's aware of the limitations, because I learned Deshake from you, Nick. I used a different app. It was the Instagram app that did the same thing, and the name is escaping me right now. Hyperlapse. Thank you. Yeah. So I used Hyperlapse to do something similar. But what they do, and the difference is, your mobile phone shoots, depending on which one you have, shoots anywhere from a 28 millimeter perspective to some of them are all the way up to like 35, or it could even be higher, 35 millimeters. And so when you use an app like that, it chops off the edges of the frame and it moves, as you shake, it moves the pixels up and down. So if you were doing like a home walkthrough, you are losing some of the perspective of the property. And it's still great. I'm not saying it's not great, but you lose some of that, and it's even tighter, and it's going to make the home seem a little bit more cramped than what it is. Or if you have a short arm, which I don't, my arms are like gangly long. But yeah, if you have short arms, like it'll zoom in a little bit more on you, and you lose some of that perspective.
That's a really good point, actually. Very good point, especially when you want to take a look at a property that's smaller inside, and you're like, oh, that's it. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Well, also, depending on how steady your own arm is, because I tend to have a steady arm, so if you're very shaky, you're going to have to cut off more of the photo, of the picture to make it smoother. But if you're able to hold it as steady as you possibly can, then you don't have to cut off as much. But yeah, so I mean, the Osmos is great if you have the money to spend on a piece of equipment like that. And if you're just like, getting started and you want something super quick and cheap, then go for the shake apps. There's lots of different options. What do you want to?
Well, next is I want to talk, since we showed the app, we showed, hey, look, you can get a tripod, you can shoot with whatever. It doesn't have to be a DSLR or a full-on recorder. It can be your phone. We've talked a little bit about apps. Well, how do you edit, Tapio? Because for me, that was my biggest challenge, because I shot these videos and I was like, well, I need to edit this part, and I just never used them at the beginning. It was really tough for me. That's what held me back, the editing. What do you do about that?
Who's getting the question, Steve or me?
Alvin.
Okay. So because we want to talk about being on a budget, so with the iPhone, iMovie is an excellent editing tool. A lot of my stuff that's just out on the streets, at a coffee shop, in my vehicle driving, I'm editing that with iMovie, and it's free. It comes with the phone. For the Droid Android users, there's also Splice.
What's it called?
Splice, S-P-L-I-C-E, like you're splicing film. Perfect. So that's one to use. Video editing apps like Animoto, oh gosh, I just drew a blank. But Animoto, some of those are a little more restricting because it puts them in the sequence that sometimes it just doesn't play the way you want it to. But another really good app when you have a little bit of time is Quick, Q-U-I-K.
Oh, I forgot about that. Can you spell that out again?
Yeah, Q-U-I-K, Quick.
Q-U-I-K. That's a really good one. I forgot about that one.
And that one's a lot of fun because you can shoot a lot of raw footage and splice it just as you go, and you can move video from one side to the other, and just have a lot of control over making it a 38-second video. It'll, as you're splicing, and it just you can do that from your phone. Yeah.
Do you recommend using the lenses for your iPhone while you're shooting? Those little things you connect to the phone here,
like the Allo clips.
Yeah. 99% of the time you won't need it, but if you're shooting, I use it very rarely. I do keep it in my bag. But if you're shooting a home that the bedrooms are a little small, then you can throw a little wide angle lens, not the fisheye, because that really distorts the corners, like Steve talking about with the photography. But there's another lens in there you can throw in there that'll give you a little bit more fuller view of the room. So, but I don't use those very often.
Nice. Steve, what about you? What do you use to edit the videos?
Yeah, so one of my newer favorite apps is called Clips.
Oh, Clips is awesome.
And so it's an Apple app, and it allows you to annotate and things like that. And I know you guys can't see this right now, or actually, you know what?
Share your screen.
Yeah, I need to turn on my because I think
Clips is do you want me to explain what it is, or do you want to explain it?
It's fine. I was going to bring it up on my screen here.
Yeah, one of the cool things it does is when you speak, it adds subtitles to your videos.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to show. Let me see if it's probably going to have me. Oh, it's having me install a quick plugin. Hopefully this is fast, and I'll bring it up on the screen. And I think this might work. AirPlay and Zoom, and give it to me.
Almost there.
Almost. We're on the right Wi-Fi.
Alvin, have you used Clips?
No, I haven't messed with it much. I mean, I've got it loaded up, but I played with it just a little bit. I haven't done a full video with it.
You know what? It's giving me an error message. So I'll just explain how it works here. But what's really cool about it, as Nick was saying, if I go into, and I'm going to choose a transcription here, you just hold the button to record, and now I'm recording a video, and as you'll see, the text is automatically transcribing as I speak into my phone. So that's how easy, and you record multiple clips and it puts it together on the fly. Another reason why I really like this, of course, is because when you hit the done button and we have our video that we recorded, if we added any graphics or we did a transcription there, one button press, and BombBomb has compatibility with Clips, so I just hit my BombBomb app and it drops that video directly into BombBomb.
Why didn't you tell me that before? I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so now it's in my BombBomb system. Now I have tracking analytics. I can email, I can text it, I can save it to my library, I can use my templates and layouts. I always we like to hide our best features. It's something
Oh
really
my gosh.
Yeah, you know, you don't really want everyone to know how awesome it is.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a great one too, and that one's free. It's for Apple users. But the other thing I just want to show, if you are a BombBomb customer and you're recording in BombBomb, the same exact thing. We don't have transcription there, but if you want a transcription, you just use Clips. But what's really cool is you can pause and re-record right in BombBomb, and so we don't allow you to edit after the fact because we want the process to be quick. But if you're talking and you're holding out your phone, I can hit the pause button, stop and think what I want to say, or flip the camera around and show the home and continue recording, and it pieces it all together on the fly. So there's no editing. It's just piecing your clips together by pausing, flipping camera.
It's basically instant editing.
It's instant, yeah. That's what we try to do. We don't want to burden the process. We want everything to be quick and simple and easy. And so that's one of the newer features. That is launching for Android today.
Ooh.
To 20% of our customers. We're doing a soft rollout, and it will launch over the next week or two. It's available for iPhone right now.
Hey, Tristan, Nick, hey guys, can I say one thing right now that Steve just now made me think about as he was doing his little demo? I know he's just showing the demo on how Clips works and all that, but a tip that Steve will attest to is the shooting in landscape. I still see hundreds and hundreds of videos of agents shooting in portrait like this, and you see the black bars. I know, Steve, you probably talked about it several times in your class and stuff, but it's a simple tip of holding, because this is the way all social media, the platform is landscape, but I'm still seeing so many videos where people are holding their camera like this. The reason they do it is because it's so easy to turn the on and off button.
Right.
On their
I was
camera.
going to ask you, that was one of my questions. My questions was portrait or landscape. And I know for a minute there, Facebook was kind of trying to bring portrait back just because of the way you scroll on your phone. They were trying to push portrait filming again so you didn't have to turn your phone. They're trying to make it easier, but I don't think it took off. But yeah, so that's a great tip too.
I mean, Snapchat, it's portrait.
Yeah, I guess, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
But I agree with Alvin. We've got a question here to random questions. Cindy Kyle's asking, how about doing a video of a development intro, like properties that are in development that are not yet built? She wants to do something raw. What equipment do you recommend for something like that? I'm going to step in and say probably a drone. drone to show the expanse of the raw land and the development? What do you all recommend?
Oh, so this is just a piece of property that they're actually building the house. That's what is that the question?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great if she has a drone, but I think she can have a lot of fun with having somebody following her around. You can see, if you can picture, like in my brain, I'm thinking the 2x4s, maybe part of the house is being drywalled, and walking through the property. Hey, check this out. This kitchen, this is going to be the kitchen, and it's just 2x4s, and maybe the sinks dropped in or whatever. That could be kind of a fun little.
I could see you, Alvin, going to the local ice cream shop and being like, how long have you been here? Tell me about the neighborhood. And I think getting the community involved to show where people are going to live is a huge thing for something like that.
That's on my to-do list. Is hitting some more, is starting a community business. Kyle Whistle out in San Diego. I know you guys know Kyle.
Yeah.
The dude's a rock star. He does that really well, talking to local businesses. So that's on my to-do list.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's a great segue into a quick clip of this video that I just did, because we're really focusing heavily on local businesses. And so this is actually very polished. It's not off the cuff, but it's just, I think, a good example of something that's more planned out. So you can just show like the first 30 seconds because it's 2 minutes. But,
2 minutes?
I am not going to watch a 2-minute video.
But we promoted it on Facebook. It's gotten like 7,000 views already.
Can you tell them the story, please?
Yeah, so my friend owns, we have a lot of friends in our town that it didn't work for you?
Mm-mm. It's okay.
Go to my Facebook
It's
page.
there.
Go to Nick Baldwin and Associates.
All right, while I do that, tell the story about what your wife told you yesterday about the dentist.
Oh, so check this out. So while Tristan's looking, just go to Nick Baldwin and Associates. You'll scroll down and see it. So we have a few friends that own local businesses, and we're trying to get more involved in the community and highlighting them. There's no promotional aspect for our business really. It's just about them. But anyway, so my wife went to take the kids to the dentist yesterday, and after the appointment, the dentist goes, no, further down. The dentist goes, so you'll see it. How do I get one of those videos made? And
wow.
My wife's like, what? She goes, I saw that video you guys did for Apple Village, and I want one for my dental practice. And people are seeing these things, and it's, I thought that was a super cool, this is kind of. Hi, I'm Nick Baldwin from Nick Baldwin and Associates at Keller Williams NJ Metro Group, right here in Montclair. And one of the reasons I love to live and work in Montclair is because it is filled with hundreds of local businesses. And we want to show you some of our favorites. So please come along with us while we introduce you to Apple Village.
Apple Village is a design-centric destination for babies.
It's highlighting a local business, and I think it's important to do that and to put yourself out there in the community and let others know that you support local businesses just like your own. And it's
Rhett Harmon does that really well.
it's great for network.
Yeah. I think the next step.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Alvin, I think that's your next step, bro. To start doing that with the local businesses and tie it to your blog and write a blog. I think that would be some great SEO. What do you think, Steve?
In terms of longevity, these videos are fantastic. If you're going down the marketing with video route, you could spend your money in a home tour, which is great. And there's tons of statistics that prove that you should have a home tour and a professionally done home tour. But once that home sells, it's like, okay, that's over. If you do these neighborhood tours, or you feature you feature a local business, those things you can use. That's an evergreen marketing piece. You can use that for years and years and years to come.
And it's great.
Hey, Tristan, and hey, fellas, true story is this buddy of mine. He did a food review at a local restaurant here. He just did hey, I'm so-and-so and checking out this restaurant. To this day, he gets phone calls from the public wanting to make reservations for the restaurant. He's like, I'm a real estate agent. I don't work at the restaurant. They find him on YouTube because he did a review about this restaurant, and he still gets calls from the public wanting to make reservations.
Yeah, dude,
That's great.
I think when you start making videos like that, and then you combine it with something like Bomb, so you can see all the times that people open it, with all the insights you get, you start then creating something bigger, which is your brand, and then people start recognizing you for something more than just a real estate agent. You're part of the community, and you're showing them things that, you know, they live there but they didn't know.
Yeah.
So you're bringing so much value at that point.
So
I think that's how video can transform your business.
So
Hey, can I? I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Really, really quick about branding. One of the things that I want to make sure I make a point of this is that we're branding ourselves actually to fellow real estate agents. And by that, I mean, I've been a part of golf tournaments, charity events. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to those events and agents come up to me. I don't know who they are. And they're like, Alvin, we've seen your videos. You know, we really enjoy watching you and stuff. Branding myself to fellow agents has now helped me in transactions, because now I see them and they're like, oh yeah, I know who you are. And if they have 6 offers on the table, let's just put it this way, there's advantages to being known by people.
I agree. Steve, what were you going to say?
One of the people I've always admired and absolutely love their neighborhood videos. Now, they're not highlighting specific stores and businesses. They're highlighting the neighborhood. And I think he's done this better than he's on my top 5 list for sure. And I've been talking about him since like 2012, maybe in 2011 or so. And it's Richard Silver. He's in Canada, and his website is Torontoism. And I'll paste it into the chat. So here's an example. Like his stuff, if you click on Toronto neighborhoods, he has a list of all the neighborhoods, and he has these videos of him talking about what's interesting, exciting, and dynamic in each neighborhood. And the videos are fantastic. And I mean, he's been using the same videos for years and years, but they're just as relevant now, and he's getting so much bang for his buck. And just a fantastic website in general. So shout out to Rick.
He has some great photography here too, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's really good. So if you like click on Cabbagetown or Riverdale or one of the neighborhoods, when you go to Toronto neighborhoods, you'll scroll down, you'll see there's an awesome video.
Let me show the video, and then we'll wrap up with that. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
That's a really good. Thanks for bringing that up, man. Let me share my screen. All right.
Well, being a Cabbagetowner is a very special thing. Being Cabbagetowner for me is all about diversity. And there's never a dull moment being a Cabbagetowner. There's lots of things to talk about. There is so many different people with lots of interests and lots of different art choices, lots of music choices, lots of choices to do with food. I think Cabbagetown is probably one of the most modern areas that you can live in, just because of the diversity. There is so much there. I think it's also just, I think one of the places, no matter what you're into, you will be accepted. Cabbagetown is a great community, and community, I guess is the word. You will become friends with your neighbors, and you will get to know people.
That's really good. I mean,
Isn't that awesome?
is that him right there?
Yeah, that's Richard. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Dude, that's nice. I'm going to save that website. It's Torontoism. I love that.
Yeah, it's great.
Good stuff.
All right, guys. Anything you want to add? I love it. I felt like the hour went really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah, it's just that video doesn't have to be hard. There's a lot of different types of videos for you to get your feet wet and to gradually move in. People are used to mistakes on video, as you know, we're a Snapchat, Facebook Live society. You know, you don't have to be perfect, and the only thing holding you back from generating more business using video is you.
I thought it was Alvin Tapia holding you back.
That's it. Alvin is holding everyone back from being their best self.
Alvin is I can't even compete. Forget it. I'm throwing in the towel, guys.
Yeah, so that's it. So if anybody's interested in checking out what we do over here at BombBomb, go to bombbomb.com and
Do you
check
have
it
any
out.
sale, any specials, anything you want to throw out there at bombbomb.com? Or
I'll tell you what. Well, we have a free trial at BombBomb, no credit card, so you can go over there and you can see how easy it is to send video, through email, text, and social. But if you sign up for the free trial now, we're running a special at the end of this month that we're putting together, and you'll be at the end of your free trial sequence. And then if you really like it, then you'll get hooked up with the special. So go give it a shot. We don't even ask for a credit card. Just go there, try it out. That's what I did. I loved it.
bombbomb.com.
Yeah, bomb.com. We make it easy to send and track, that's most importantly, your videos.
All right, just put the link there. And Alvin, any last words, man?
No, the big thing is just don't be afraid, and don't worry about what other people say. That, like Nick said earlier, usually they're the folks that aren't doing anything. So just get out there, give it a shot, make mistakes, have fun as you're making those mistakes, and just brush it off. But just keep doing it. And please, any questions? I know Steve would be open to it. Text them down below. I'll help however I can. I'll be glad to private message me or just shoot questions on this feed. I'd be glad to help however I can.
Do you have a website where people can check out your videos, or do they just go visit your Facebook page?
They can go to my YouTube channel, just Alvin Tapia. Just go YouTube, just Alvin Tapia, or my Facebook page, and click on videos. So I have different ones on YouTube as I do on Facebook.
Awesome. Anything you want to add?
No, man,
We're
that
good.
was great.
Sweet, guys. Well, thanks for being on. I appreciate it. And
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.